Happy birthday, Janice. This video is just a video to encourage you what your life has been like and continues to be, and what people think of you and when they think of Janice Gardner. And I'll say a few things at the end of the video, but this is my present to you.
Hi Janice, happy 60th birthday. Your birthday was actually yesterday, and I'm sending this to you a day late, but I just wanted to tell you how special you are to me and how thankful I am that you're my friend. My notes just blew into the tree, so I'm going to do this without my notes. I can't believe it's been 50 years since we've been friends. I met you and your family just moved to the area, and your dad became my PE teacher, and we were in the 4th grade. And I remember going over to your house, my family went over to your house, and what I remember about that night was after we got home and our house had been broken into, and someone was still in our house when we got there. So I always remember that as being a big moment in the Grammer family when my dad took his baseball bat down to the basement and tried to scare away the robbers. But anyway, we have many, many memories since then, from days at the beach. I remember when you came with my family to the beach house we stayed at, and we would go as families together, and that was a kind of place that all of our families enjoyed a lot. So those were special memories. My mom gave us a surprise 17th birthday party together, and that was really fun. I remember she had the dating game, which sounds so much like my mom, which anyway, we both played that with like Dan Nusser and Jay Adrian and Mike Stradley, Todd Morgan. But a lot of memories. You and I would walk in fields together and talk about our life, and you had your favorite number 10 and mine was 23, and Diana, Julie, you and I, maybe it was Mary, we all sat in a car one time, and I still remember to this day where it was, kind of by the Humdinger where the Louis Plow office was many years ago. And we talked about who was going to get married first and made our guess about how many kids we were going to have. Never would have dreamed our life. Actually, all of that group, you're the only one that still stayed married. None of us would have ever dreamt we would have been divorced. And I remember specifically you saying you didn't think you would be a good mother, so you didn't think you would have any children. And here you have probably the most children of all of us, and you're a wonderful mother, and you're still married, so you did really well. We would write, we had a lot of classes together. You were my loyal, very faithful friend I could always count on to never do things behind my back. You were just really committed and trustworthy. I can remember so many things, but we took a lot of classes together, a lot of office secretarial type of classes, and you and I were proficient at shorthand, and we wrote many notes to each other in shorthand. I wish we still had those, or I wish I could even read them. Never used my shorthand at all, and it was something we were both really good at, but those were fun days. Some of the other memories I remember are we were asked to sing Becky Mays had asked us if we would sing a duet together for the youth group, and I can't remember who all we were going to sing it in front of, but it was for Take My Life and Let It Be, Consecrated Lord to Thee. And I think about those words, I wrote them out, and those also blew in the bushes. So I just think that it's still a theme that, you know, we both left the Lord, wanted to remain faithful and committed. You went on the mission field. You know, life hasn't been perfect, but we've remained faithful, and still that would be a prayer, is to consecrate our life to Him and to serve Him. 60 years, it's hard to believe, and hopefully we'll have many more years together where we could serve Him and continue our friendship. I hope your birthday's wonderful.
Hi Janice, I'm so happy to have this opportunity to wish you a very happy 60th birthday. I don't know where the years have gone, but I hope it's true that 60 is the new 40. I don't know, what do you think? Janice, I have so many good memories of you going back to high school, and even though I know we met much earlier, I clearly remember you from high school and taking business classes together at Sunset High School and taking shorthand together and the fun we had, and also from our days in the Cedar Mill Bible Church Youth Group. You were always so kind and always such a neat person to be around. And I loved your artistic ability too. I think I was always a little jealous of that. Of course, you ended up living in Nigeria, and I felt so blessed to be able to go and visit you in 2001. What can I say? You lived out the fruits of the Spirit there, and I was so impressed. And the conditions, especially those conditions, it would have been hard for me, and you were such an inspiration. Of course, now you're back in Cedar Mill, and I'm always happy when our paths cross. You radiate the love of Jesus, and I'm just so pleased and blessed to be able to call you a lifelong friend. Love you. Happy birthday.
That she is very much grateful with the years she has spent. How are her children? How are they doing? That she is much grateful to the Lord with plenty years she has spent. That the Lord will grant her more good years ahead.
Oh, happy birthday. And how are you doing? Happy to hear from your husband again. I'm very happy that you're turning 60. I pray the Lord should continue to guide you and protect you. Thank you for the little time we stay here in Jos. Learn a lot from you. I'm saying thank you. You taught me how to cook very well, and I appreciate it. Because now I'm eating food with it. I'm saying thank you. And also, you're a mother indeed, because you never treat us different from other mother did. Some, because we're black, we don't have the right to do anything the way we want in your own house. But you taught us how to do it. You did not show us any different. I'm saying thank you. Pray the Lord should continue to guide you and protect you.
Hi, Janice. It's quite good to hear about you. Seeing that you are clocking 60 is a wonderful thing. And I believe that at this age, you're a grandmother already, having grandchildren. And we appreciate God for His faithfulness, who has kept you to this age. It's quite amazing that it has been long. We have not talked, and I'm not happy that I've not done well on that. But I still thank God for the opportunity to appreciate God's faithfulness. Celebrating this age, our memories that we can recall, and we are so friendly and we prayed together, and we thank God for the time we had. It was very wonderful, and we still remember that God has been faithful with us. I just remembered a time with Mary when I thought of praying for her and she was scared, and I think she was screaming, and she ran to your room, to your sitting room, and I don't know what really happened again, but I just remember that incident that she was afraid. When we are at home in Fogos. Remembering your names, because you are part of the Israeli people who will always remember you, having our names. Your name is Aisha, and Dara is Anya, Brenton is Aziz. Joel is Abby, and Lydia is Akare. Then Serena is my mother's name, Ado. These wonderful names we will not forget. So we are still celebrating you in Israel, praying that the Lord will always bring this memory and refresh you and make you more younger. Amen.
I'm happy that I heard from your husband that you have increased in years. About 60 years is not a joke, but I'm happy that you are well and doing fine now, and at least of age. So what I will say about you, and I still can't forget what you did to us, especially the four of us, me, Bigel, Jume, and Precious is, it's not easy, and it's not always easy for white ladies or white people to give food to their work, to their staffs from their kitchen. But all these things, all this while you were around with us, we can eat enough and we make sure that we are fed well, that we don't have problem with, your food in the kitchen. We can eat whatever we want to cook and then eat, no problem. It was very surprising, and I can't forget that. I keep on saying that, hi, you are a different white woman that I've ever seen, I've ever met, and very kind, very simple, and easy to go with everybody. And the other thing is, whenever we are driving, especially in the town, when you were here in Nigeria, I've never seen you drive. And you keep on saying, I asked you one day, you say, I can't drive as if, because the way your people drive, see motorcycles here, vehicles, sometimes I have to close my eyes because I think that you will hit somebody. But that's why she was so scared. She will tell me, I'm scared of you, I can't see that. It is not easy to go in the town with people like this. But she's surprised that I used to drive and there was no problem, no accidents. She used to say, you are wonderful. And I really thank her for her courage. She's a very courageous and simple to go by. And she would advise us to be very wise in all our dealings. I thank her very much for the time that we spent together, and now that she's all getting old with the children, everybody is there, leaving her, maybe only her now with the husband at home. Well, I think it's not easy. I wish her happy.
I wish you
happy birthday and many more years to see your great grandchildren. Thank you, and God bless.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Janice. It's hard to believe it's been more than a decade since we used to spend our birthdays together, since we're both in October. And I really miss seeing you and having your friendship. There was a time when I considered you my very best friend in Nigeria, and I miss you so much, even to this day. And the type of friend that you were to me, you were such an encouragement and a great support to me, especially when I had my firstborn and you had your fifth child, and they were the same age, and we were bringing them up together when they were toddlers, and we were close to each other. And I really needed your friendship and encouragement. And one thing that I remember very specifically, and this epitomizes the friend that you were to me, is I was having a particularly hard time, and you came over one day. You lived at Mangu Road, and I lived at the Naraguta house that you used to occupy. You came over with a pot of coffee and a box of cookies, and you sat down and you listened to me and you prayed with me, and I so appreciated your friendship. And I'm so glad that you've made it to this big milestone, 60, and I just wanted to be a part of saying happy birthday.
One thing, I just remember being at your house, sitting at your dining room table, laughing at your adventures and your misadventures, and your house was always surrounded with kids, and they were laughing and enjoying themselves. And you guys were always a couple of steps in front of us. Your kids were a little older. You went through things that we were going to soon go through, and it's amazing how much our lives mirrored through the years. And it was just an encouragement to us. And the takeaway for me is just keep going. It's okay. That might not be the season of your life, but that will come at some point. And so you're just real. You were real encouragement to me, and your life was real. I remember the season when lots of people in your house, lots of house help, and it was frenetic, but I know that you loved beauty and quiet and art. But that wasn't the season for them right now. That season was to pour into your kids' lives. You did have that quiet time with Sarita, and you did art with her and things like that, I know. But I remember going over, and kids will be in one room with a computer playing with another kid over here, and someone was over here, and it was a happy home. filled with love and acceptance. And it was good for me to say, it's okay, your kids are your priority right now. The rest will come soon enough. And then during that time, you'd already lost your mom, but you guys had taken your dad and enveloped him into your life here in Nigeria. Didn't leave him back home alone, but he was a part of your life here, and that was awesome. That's one thing that I didn't get to have with my mom, but it was just great to see that you guys just kept doing life with your dad as well. And then the next season, I remember when you got to finally have your studio, your art studio. And so you got your studio, and you guys had entered the life of checkbook and cheerleader with your kids, and we were soon to follow, where the kids are mostly out of the house, they're making their own decisions, and we mostly just pray for them, cheer them on, and help them financially. And then even that eventually faded, and now it's mostly just cheerleading and encouraging them and praying for them. And I soon came to the place where I too had to go home, and I remember sitting at the Rose Garden in Portland and just talking to you, and it's like, it's okay to focus on me now. And that during that season, that we aren't failures, but that it's time for us to heal. And that what life was before was fantastic. It was hard, but life is different now. And then that your life changed and focused, and you got healing, and then you moved on into new and different things. And so I too have followed in that. And that out of the ashes of what we thought, okay, how can we ever recover from this? God has used us in ministry and in different ways. And I absolutely love it that you have Odette and, I don't know your grandson's name, but your and just filled with joy and happiness of your kids and your grandkids. And this is a whole different season. And I just want to say your life is full. It's rich. It's been filled with heartache. It's been filled with love. But it's filled with passion. And so God bless you. I miss you. I love that Carlene just put a picture of all of us from the early 2000s on Facebook, and I got to see that and just remember who we were way back when. And you're real, and I love that about you. And thank you for sharing your life and not being somebody else in front of me, because you really helped me get through those steps too, and to be successful in where I am now, being okay with who I am. And thank you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Janice. I wrote a poem just for you for your 60th birthday. To Janice, my friend, this ode is for you. These sincere birthday wishes are heartfelt and true. We met at our church those long years ago. I'm so thankful we did when you were home on furlough. As I think over the years and all we have done, many things come to mind, ordinary, special, and fun. We've had lots of great talks as we drink coffee or tea, sharing joys and deep sorrows. Our mutual trust is the key. We've picked peaches and apples, enjoying fresh country air. We encourage each other through text, emails, and prayer. I've gained from your wisdom, cherished art which you gave. I admire your patience and that you are brave. I end this with love, and I want you to know I'll treasure our friendship wherever life goes. So happy birthday, Janice. Hope we have many more years ahead.
Hi, Janice. Happy 60th birthday. I want to remember you with some of our great memories. We kind of started our friendship when you guys had returned from Africa. I knew about you from the stage when I'd see you at church, but when you came home in 2005 and then started homeschooling Serena in the fall, I happened to be homeschooling at that time, and of course we were starting our missions journey. And I often tease you that you didn't have a choice. You had to be my friend, because I kind of pegged you that you were going to be my friend because you would understand what we're going through. And so we have wonderful memories of bonding that way through our girls and through us. And one thing I've always appreciated about you is your sense of humor, and you can sit at my table and drink coffee and tell me the most amazing and sometimes horrific things that happened in Africa, and you just have this very even-keeled voice, And meanwhile, I'm looking at you and my eyes are about to pop out of my head and my jaw's dropping, but just amazing stories of what God did and how you just, you weren't perfect in that, but you just had to live through it and what you've learned through it. And I'm still amazed. Just a week ago, you told me stories that I had never heard. And we've sat and talked about a lot of stories, and I'm still hearing new ones. And my jaw is still dropping. And I love your sense of humor, that it's just very quiet and dry, but it keeps me laughing. And I always say, if a friend can make me laugh, then if someone can make me laugh, then they're definitely going to be my friend, because I need that humor in my life. And I appreciate you being a little bit older than me. I'm not trying to rub it in, but it's very helpful because you've walked paths that I haven't walked, and your kids are a bit older, so it's been fun to go to the weddings as the girls have gotten married and be a part of that, part of your life and that transition, and it just helps me as I navigate what lies ahead for me. So I love that we live in the same neighborhood again. I think we're both in our forever houses, so I think we'll be going for walks for many years to come, and I just consider you a very, very great treasure and gift from God, and I love you tons.
Hi Janice, happy 60th. It doesn't seem possible. Rich asked me to think about times that we spent together. I just remember sitting and talking around the kitchen table. I always enjoyed that. And taking your photo on your graduation day. And I think that picture came out very nice. That's a good memory. Anyway, happy birthday. Have a great one.
Hey Janice, just sending you this message to say happy birthday, and thanks for being a fantastic sister, being there for us when we needed it, and moral support for us all the time. Thanks for being a great sister as I was a little kid, and playing games with me, digging out those games out of the closet, finding things to do. I remember you entertaining me when I was sick and trying to find things to keep me busy, and it just little things like that always stuck with me, and I remember. But anyway, just want to say happy birthday, have a great time, hope you're having a fantastic birthday, and enjoy. Thanks, love you, bye.
Happy birthday, Mom. I just wanted to tell you that we're all really excited that we get to be here for your 60th birthday. And I wanted to tell you a few things that I remember about you as a mom that are special to me. I really always appreciated how much you did projects with us, and I try consciously to do that with the kids because it was really fun for me. I also especially appreciated how much you taught me about art and about looking for colors and noticing things. And I've realized, especially becoming an adult, that art is really good for me because it helps root me to the present moment in ways that the world and anxiety tries to pull me out. And so helps me be grateful for the people and the things that God made. So I'm really looking forward to doing that with Odette and Karsten, and I'm really glad that you taught me so much about it. And I pray that you have a wonderful year, and I'm really happy that we will be here for it. Happy birthday.
Hey Mom, I was just saying happy 60th birthday. On the bright side, you're still not as old as Dad is. No, I just wanted to say, happy birthday and share a couple of memories. I couldn't really pick one, there was a couple of them. I remember you killing a snake in our... Dad was away for a couple of days in the village, and then we found a snake in the hallway, and you grabbed a yam pounder and smashed it to little bits. That was pretty cool. I remember that. I remember me and you making food once in an old house, and we were like, well, chef's privilege, we get to eat it first, and we grabbed something. It ended up being rotten, and we had to run over to the sink and spit it out. And it was just funny because we were all cocky, like, yeah, we get the privileges, we're doing the work, and then we had to go like spit it in the sink. God judged us that day for being selfish. Yeah, no, just a lot of memories around like Christmas, especially, like a lot of traditions you kept going for us that I look forward to every year now, and I think you and Dad did a great job of that. But yeah, a lot of Christmas memories in Miango, or like you know, stockings and whatnot. And then I remember when I went to New York City, and we had jobs lined up to work on a movie set, and we had a free place to stay, and that all fell through in the matter of like the day before I left, and then the day I got there, and he kept sending me money so I didn't have to be homeless, and I appreciated that a lot. I wasn't homeless. I did sleep a night or two on a roof, and I didn't tell you about it, but yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do that like without you. So yeah, those are a couple memories. Happy birthday. I hope you have a really good 60th.
I think for me, I like the times that we've talked about, like the work that you do with all the kids, because it reminds me of like the time that I worked with kids for a little bit, and then just kind of the medical connection too, just as far as the things that you do. So I think that's a good memory for me. It's just the different times we've talked about that. It's really cool that you do that, and that all the things that you do for those kids.
A nice memory I remember is every Christmas, we would each lay down on your lap, and you would sing us our favorite song. And I remember me feeling very special, just waiting my turn to lay down and hear my favorite Christmas song. And so that was always really special, and a nice thing that you did for us. A fun memory I have of you is when at the Lutheran compound, when I was like 6, 7, and 8, you would wake us up before the sun rose, and I felt super special. You would walk us across the street, and we would run around the track as the sun rose before any other kids or any other of my friends were up. And I felt very important and very special, and I just remember it being like a fun time watching the sunrise. A funny memory I have is during the Joss riots, you had told us to stay away from the windows, and I remember one night I was walking by the window, not ducking, and 3-year-old Serena jumped on the couch, and it made a really loud bang, and I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't listen to my mom, and here I have been shot, and so I fall to the ground. You walk in and see it happen, and you run over to me. Serena runs over to me, and I remember all of us just laying on the floor laughing for a really long time, where I felt like I was going to pass out. But I just remember it was a really funny memory.
Hi Mom, happy 60th birthday! Okay, do you remember when Dad tried to surprise you for your 40th birthday? That's one of my favorite memories, actually, because Dad was all giddy because of his surprise, trying to keep us quiet, and you totally figured it out. And then you were prodding me for information, and I thought I was being all devious and clever. Felt really bad about lying. But then afterwards, you told me it was okay because you knew, and I thought that was really fun and clever of you that you had tricked us when we were trying to trick you. Anyways, that's just one of my favorite memories of you. And another one is actually this really strong image of home that I found in acting class when we were supposed to draw images to mind. And it's this image of me and you making tea in rainy season in Nigeria. And I didn't know if it was because maybe the other kids didn't come in when we called, or I got really sad because it was dark outside. Either way, you suggested making tea and waiting for the rest of the family to get in from the cold, and we just made tea, and it was this strong sense of home. Anyways, I have a couple things I want to thank you for. Had to write them down. Taking care of me when I got sick, many, 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 many times. Staying up till 2 a.m. sometimes to make those projects for Bible class. You found me those shoes for 8th grade banquet. You actually prayed over and found me them. It was really special because I felt like Cinderella. You found that, or got that yellow dress for me for graduation, even though I should have gone with your choice. I agree, but I was not nearly as grateful for as I should have been, but thank you. You got Mr. Knightley. You saw that I wanted that cat, even though there was plenty of cats. So you worked really hard to find me Mr. Knightley. You helped me move to college, bought me new clothes. That was really special. And then you visited me later to watch Little Women and encourage me. Meant a lot. You're thoughtful every time you come home for Christmas, setting things up, and I really appreciate it. A couple things I learned from you. Art, imagination, creativity, and to work hard and try hard. Oh, and these wise words. If you don't know, maybe you need more information. I don't know if you picked it up or you just kept saying it a lot, but I learned that from you, and if I don't know, sometimes I ask a lot of questions. Oh, you also demonstrated this for us. It's okay to be sad and eat lots of chocolate. Oh, you also taught us haikus. So, and I was horrible at them. I read one the other day that was about sun and huts, nothing of real depth, but I tried. It's called Janice Gardner. Comforts my sadness, sees what's beneath and loves deep, strong and wise mother. Alright, well I know you felt bad for taking me away from my home, Nigeria, but I just want to let you know, you know it's not your fault. God had other plans. And even though Nigeria will always be my physical home, you, my mom, my family, are my home. And I want to wish you the best 60th birthday, lots of grace over your life, because I love you.
Happy birthday, Mom. Some stories from you in Nigeria. I always really loved that you would make things for me to play with. Like that track where we drove around all of the little toy cars and built a town and drew a town. I always thought like it was kind of like a superpower of yours. I could ask you to draw anything from my imagination and it would come to life on the page. And I'm still asking you to do that with like the logo and tattoo ideas and all that. So I just always thought that was really amazing. Some other things, I really always loved like going to the mailbox in just recent years and seeing that you wrote like a letter to me of encouragement or something like that. That was really meaningful, and just want to thank you for that and for working really hard this year to help me with school. I know it's not easy, but I just really appreciate it. So some things that I've been thinking about more recently, just that it's fall and you always give me the first fall leaf that you see, and I actually have the one that you gave me this year on my desk. And just coming back after school and drinking tea and talking to you about my day always was really important and meaningful to me, so still think about doing that, especially in this weather where it's just a hot cup of tea and coming back and debriefing. So also wanted to say how proud I was of you this year for doing all the gym stuff, and hope that you'll find new things that you really love doing this year and that we could do together. And just wanted to say happy birthday, and I love you.
Again, Janice, happy birthday. I have some memories to share or to think about with you. I think one of the fun ones was right after we got married. We were just walking between the church and the gym, and it's underground, and you were just so excited, and you turned to me just with a joyful look and said, "Rich, I can't believe we're married." It was just the way you said it, I think, that really touched me. And then thinking about the anniversaries that we had, and I think our 10th anniversary was my favorite, and we just had a fun time. We went down to, I think it was Newport, and just spent the weekend down there and just had a great time. And that's when we sold, I think it was the something like a bond or something like that. We got on our birthday, on our wedding, and we bought the dishes there at that big mall. And I just remember that was a lot of fun. And then another memory of you was probably the lowest time in our life together in Nigeria was my lowest time, actually, because Don Lindholm had said to me, and your presence too, that he didn't know what we would do after the project. He said, you can't work here. You're going to have to find some other place to go because you don't fit in here. And something to the effect that people don't get along with you, and so you're going to have to move on. And coming from a boss, that was really devastating to me personally. It hit me harder than I think anything else. And I remember distinctly that you were there for me, and you encouraged me and strengthened me, and made it through that time that was so hard for me to hear, that I wouldn't have a job after we finished the Azuri translation. So I just want to thank you for that. And thank you for putting up with me all these years. And I know this is your 60th, and I'd wish you 60 more, but I don't really know if you want that many. But I hope the Lord really continues to bless your life, and that you'll be a great encouragement to the kids and the grandkids, and maybe even beyond. Happy 60th. God bless you.